Hello, everyone. This is myself, doing a wee live on YouTube for the first time. Just wanted to see how it goes and things like that. So basically, done Facebook Lives in the past and things like that. So whether it's not the same as not. So what I'm doing is I'm just starting up a wee football chat. You're welcome to live. So remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community's guidelines, of course. So I did say that this is not available for kids as such. So anyone under 18 sort of thing, it's not going to be really made for that. And as I say, this is just basically going to be like football chat banter type of thing. So yeah, so like I say, this is the first one I've really been doing. The first one I've really started. If anyone has any tips, anything like that, not betting tips. I'm talking about as in tips, as in how to maybe get more people onto it. I mean, obviously it's set up as public, so anyone can really come into it. If they want to chat into it, they can. Also, if they can let me know how the sound is on it as well, because I'm using this for the first time. The microphone's set up with webcam streaming as well, sort of thing. So you can let me know in the comments below. If you like what you see and things like that as well. Also, you can subscribe to my channel. This is my channel and things like that as well. So yeah. So basically, I just want to sort of, with obviously there's some football on tonight, Champions League action. A lot of the games, some of them are half times in some of the games. Actually, sorry, most of them are actually into the second half of their matches now. So if you don't want any spoilers to any of the scores, you can look away now, and I will tell you some of the scores of the matches. So these are the finals. These are the full-time results of two of the Champions League matches. And finished Lazio 2, Club Brugge 2. And that was in, let me see, what group was that in? Let me see, what group were they in? Let me see, 1 second, just trying to find out what group they were actually in. Let me see, I'm not sure what group they were actually in. Yeah, and Borussia Dortmund took on St. Petersburg in St. Petersburg, and they won 2-1. And that was a very big result for them. Obviously, no Erling Haaland playing for them tonight. Obviously, he's still injured. Barcelona are actually being beaten by Juventus 3-0. Goals from Cristiano Ronaldo, both from the penalty spot, and Weston McKennie as well on the score sheet. But I think Barcelona, they're more or less already through as such. I mean, yeah, they must be. So you've got, and Chelsea are one each against Krasnodar. Dynamo Kiev are 1-up in their match against Ferencvárosi. We've got PSG and Istanbul. Their match is sitting at 0 each, but it's only been kicked off from. It says live from 14 minutes. Just want to check and see. Yeah. So it's only been kicked off from there. So it must be a later start, that match. RB Leipzig are beating Manchester United 2-0. Remember, folks, Manchester United lose tonight, then they're out of the Champions League. But if they were to snatch a dramatic draw, then it will see them through. But as things stand, Manchester United will go out. And that Paul Pogba was on the bench for them. He's from what I hear, he's still on the bench. Let me see. Has a substitution been made from United? Let's see. So Donny van de Beek comes on for Alex Telles. But Paul Pogba, who was left on the bench, is still on the bench. Yeah. Okay. So yes. So as I say, so this is a football chat. See, we have other matches on tonight as well. I think we've got some championship games too. So championship matches are on tonight. Coventry versus Luton, still 0 each. Watford against Rotherham. Watford are winning 2-0. Christian Kabasele and Troy Deeney. So Troy Deeney must have been on a long injury. I haven't seen him score for quite a while. Swansea City against Bournemouth. It's 0 each. It's a big game. Huddersfield 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Millwall 1, QPR 1. Stoke 1, Cardiff 1. That was the championship. League 2. Only 2. Scunthorpe 0, Colchester United 1. And Grimsby 0, Newport 2 in that one. Let me see. We've got some Papa John's Trophy matches as well. So we've got Hull against Crewe, finished 0 each, but Hull went through 3-2 on penalties. FC Wimbledon 3, Arsenal under 21s 0, full-time result. Oldham 1, Sunderland 2, a full-time result. Accrington Stanley 3, Manchester United under 21s 2. Cheltenham 0, Portsmouth 3. Exeter 1, Northampton 2. Leyton Orient 1, Bristol Rovers 2. These are all full-time results. Port Vale 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers under 21s 1. Salford City 3, Leicester City under 21s 3. But Leicester City under 21s 1-6-5 on penalties. Shrewsbury 1, Lincoln City 4. And Peterborough 3, West Ham United under 21s 0. Still game still playing in that. As Cambridge United 2, Gillingham 0. Fleetwood Town and Blackpool is still goalless. MK Dons 5, Norwich City under 21s 0. Tranmere Rovers 1, Manchester City under 21s 1. And Oxford 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. Let me see, that's a Papa John's Trophy. Then we have so the National League matches. Eastleigh and Wrexham was a 7 o'clock kickoff, but I think it's been postponed to play at a later date. Might be COVID related, I don't know for sure. Hartlepool 2, Kingsland Town 0. Sutton United 0, Chesterfield 1 are both full-time results. Aldershot Town 1, FC Halifax Town 3. Altrincham and Woking was meant to be a quarter day kickoff, but again that game has been postponed. Barnet 1, Stockport County 2. This game is still playing with 15 minutes to go. Bromley 1, Yeovil Town 2. Dover Athletic and Solihull Moors. Again, I think that one's been postponed and due to play at a later date. We also have Notts County 0, Boreham Wood 1. The game's still playing with just over 10 minutes to go. Torquay United 2, Maidenhead United 0 with just over 15 minutes to go. Weymouth Town 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 3 with about 14 minutes to go in that one, give or take. National League North, Leamington and Darlington, I think, has been postponed to be arranged to play at a later date. Brackley Town and Spennymoor Town, they're both 0 each. York City 2, Kettering Town 0. Chester FC 4, Hereford 3 with about 14 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Chorley 1, Guiseley 0. Blythe Spartans 0, Boston United 1. National League South, we've got Dulwich Hamlet 2, Eastbourne Borough 0. Oxford City 0, St Albans City 0. Tonbridge Angels and Chippenham Town is a postponed fixture. Concord Rangers 2, Bath City 1. And Braintree Town and Wellington is 0-0 with 20 minutes to go. Let me see any other. So the Irish Premiership, Dungannon Swifts 0, Portadown 2 is the latest score with just over 10 minutes to go in that one as well. So that is your up-to-date football scores so far. Let me see, has there been anything more happening in the Champions League while on here, while we're live? Just have we check and see if there's anything more. Let me see. So we've got Barcelona still trailing Juventus by 3-0. Chelsea 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. Dynamo Kiev are 1 up. Dennis Popov with the goal. RB Leipzig are 2-0 up against Manchester United with just over 20 minutes remaining in that game. Can Manchester United get themselves back in this match and keep themselves alive in the Champions League? It's not looking likely, and Rennes are trailing Sevilla by 2-0 in that match. And then we have the final matches tomorrow of the group stages of the Champions League tomorrow as well. And that is your roundup so far with the fixtures for this evening. So if there's any updates, I will keep you posted. Let me see. And there's been breaking news. Millwall fans applaud as team stands while QPR take knee. And it was a big talking point over the weekend. Matches with Millwall fans being booing. A section of the Millwall fans, not all Millwall fans, from what I hear, but a section of Millwall fans had booed for taking the knee. Let me see. Oh, breaking news 17 minutes ago. So this is one of the reasons why the PSG game was put back. So play was suspended in the 23rd minute when Pierre Webo, Başakşehir's assistant coach, was sent off. Turkish club reportedly accusing the Romanian fourth official of making a racist remark. So PSG and Istanbul Başakşehir players walked off the pitch in protest after reports of an alleged racist slur by the fourth official during the Champions League tie. So the match was halted on the 23rd minute after Pierre Webo, Başakşehir's assistant coach, had been sent off in a touchline row. Video footage emerged which appeared to show Webo accusing the fourth official of using racist language. Başakşehir's substitute Demba Ba could be seen protesting on the touchline, while PSG players including Neymar and Kylian Mbappe also appeared to be demanding an explanation. After a red card is given by the referee to a member of the opposition staff, discussions continue between players and staff of both teams with the referee, PSG said on Twitter. The Başakşehir players decide to go back into the locker room. The Parisians follow them. Başakşehir posted a message on their Twitter account which read, "No to racism, respect." So, and yes, that is the message, and that's not just in that game, but that's also around the world as well. You know, there's no room for racism in football. You know, everyone plays the game. You know, everyone who plays the game should not tolerate any form of racism, bullying of any extent, not just on a football pitch, but in general. You know, it's the same with, you know, LGBT. It's the same thing. Like, you know, if someone gets bullied because of their sexuality or anything like that, it's a no to that as well. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's not even just a 21st century thing. I mean, more people are coming out now and things like that than they have before. You know, with things like that, and everyone kind of needs to adjust to that as well. You know, can we all learn from everything that happened? Yes, I'm sure we could learn everything, because, and that's the thing that people need to understand. A lot of people are still learning. You know, they're still having to come to terms with certain aspects of it all. You know, having to get used to, like, you know, transgender people and things like that, you know, as well. You know, it's not just, you know, guys want to be girls and girls want to be guys. It's everything. You know, it's just, yeah, there's so much we can learn from each other, and that, you know, so, you know, people, don't be bullying people. If people aren't sure or don't know, you know, they need to be educated, and they also need to be told what is right and wrong with it. What's the right term to talk to people about it. We learn from things like that. We are all we. So basically, people who are LGBT, who are going from who want to be a girl, or who was a guy who wants to be a girl, or whatever. Do they want to be classified as a girl? Do you know what I mean? Because there is some that want to be known as we, rather than just he or her, or him and she. That want to be known as we. But there's just so many different aspects of it all that we could all learn from everyone who's going through it all. So anyone who is of LGBT, as I say, they're more than welcome to, educate not just myself. I'm talking about like everyone in general. Anyone who's unsure of it all. I mean, it's not an easy thing to talk about, I know, but at the same time, it is nice, for people to, for people to say. Do you know what I mean? So we all learn from each other, and there's nothing wrong with learning from each other. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. Let me see any more score in matches. Still nothing more. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so RB Leipzig are now 3-0 up against Manchester United. And that is basically it. So Fernandes actually hit the bar, and 59 seconds later, RB Leipzig hit them in a break and scored from it. And that is pretty much going to be that. And it was Justin Kluivert as well that scored it. And it's a big goal, because, I mean, can I see Manchester United scoring 3 goals in 19 minutes the way they're playing at the minute in that match? Not from what I read. The last time Manchester United scored 3 goals in a game, except for at the weekend against West Ham, where, in my opinion, basically going off replays that I've seen of the incident regarding Manchester United's equalising goal against West Ham United at the London Stadium. From what I've seen on the replays from Match of the Day, now, is it inconclusive? I highly doubt it. That it is inconclusive, because at the end of the day, the ball is that far out. You can clearly see when a keeper kicks the ball so far out and the curve so far out and comes back in again. It's as clear as day to me. But yet VAR were not able to say that they could clarify that ball had went out of play. But yet replays showed, and picture frames showed that ball was about 3 yards out of play. Because this is my opinion. So this is where I think they got it wrong. The assistant. So the assistant was too concerned about the offside and not the actual play as such. So he was keeping an eye on the play, which is what to do. There's no harm in that. But they're supposed to keep an eye on the ball, not what's going on. VAR is there for that. VAR picks everything up, supposedly. All right. So VAR, everyone has their own opinion on VAR. Okay. Okay, another subject. But with that goal, the ball went out of play. The linesman should have seen the keeper. He should have been looking at where the ball was. I know it might be hard to track a ball from that far, but if you keep your eye on the ball, so obviously you've got one assistant referee on one side, one on the other. The one on the left would have seen the ball, the way the ball was going, and this one here should have been keeping an eye on this side to see where the ball was out of play. And he would have seen, so if he was running that line, he would have seen that the ball has went past the line, because he would have been in the line of it. But because he was looking at offside, and he was worrying about the offside, rather than the actual play, then that seemed to be the problem in that. So I think going forward, what they should really be doing is making sure that the linesmen are keeping up with play. So it's like when a goalkeeper takes a goal kick, the linesman always tends to stand around on the 18-yard box, like as in, on the line of, like in line with it, and goes on up. So to me, that's where they should really be. They should be keeping an eye on the play. So obviously the linesman's going to see where the ball goes, and there's going to see anything that's in between. So for me, the linesman should have really been concentrating on the ball, not the actual offside. So he was looking to see if there was an offside, because that's what VAR is for. VAR would have picked up if there was an offside. For one, you can't be offside from a goal kick. You can't. You can only be offside from a flick. If somebody flicks the ball on and you're in an offside position, then you're offside. You can't be offside from a goal kick. That's one of the laws of the game. You can't be. Okay. Second of all, when you're taking a goal, when the keeper comes out, and it's not a goal kick he's taken, but the keeper comes out and he obviously swerves the ball way out of play. So linesman should have been keeping an eye on it, not the offside. That's what VAR is for. VAR should have been looking at that. And then VAR only take a look at it because, and they come up with the idea that it's inconclusive that the ball has went out of play, right? So tell me that this is really what gets me about this. So they're basically saying that it's inconclusive that the ball has went out by 3 yards, right? What I'm saying, right now, I don't know how they can do it. But if they can come up with goal line technology, which means that the technology they use for seeing if a ball goes over the line, can they not introduce something, bar a high angle camera at the stadium, in each stadium across it, to say that ball has crossed the line for a throw-in? Because when you see a replay of a ball, that goes out, and it's gone out by a fraction, that's out of play. And then they come up and say, "Oh yeah, VAR looked at it. Yeah, ball has gone out of play, no goal," and it'll be like a throw in to the other team or whatever. I mean, how far are we really going back for a decision now? Is it a minute? Is it like, obviously VAR checks to see how far it goes back. So obviously, when there's so many passes, and if the team can get the ball back in that space of time, when the referee says, like, if the referee waves it away, it says no free kick. But if VAR had a chance to look at it, would they see it as a free kick? So if a referee sees it, doesn't see it as a free kick, and lets play go on, and VAR look at it, and they can't make their mind up. If VAR can't make their mind up that the decision was conclusive enough, they have to stick with the referee's original decision. So I'll go back to VAR bit with. So Wolves were awarded the penalty there against Liverpool on Sunday night, and then so obviously Conor Cody, Sadio Mane took his foot away, because he knew that if he was going to make contact, it would be a penalty. There was no contact made whatsoever. Sadio Mane pulled his leg around, and Conor Cody went down. Penalty was given. VAR looked at it. So on a real time, that would have been given as a penalty, right? So VAR looked at it, slowed it down slightly. But even when you slow it down, even in real time, if he slowed it down by a fraction, you would see Mane taking his leg away still from the play, and there was no contact made. So this is what VAR was good at doing in this match. So the referee gave the penalty, VAR looked at it, and basically the referee said, no penalty. And it was a free. So he gave no penalty, but what worries me in that was the fact that he didn't book Conor Cody for simulation, because So is this going to be a thing now where a player goes down, doesn't get touched, and it's minimal where the contacts come from? So VAR could have seen that and went, oh, they might have seen like a stud. Like, come on, a stud is not going to take you down that badly, right? One wee stud on the toe tip of the foot is not enough contact for you to go down. I mean, they have to come up with a better solution for going down. Leeds, to me, should have got a penalty against Chelsea. Would it have made much of a difference in the match? Probably not. But it would have been nice to if the Leeds had got the decision. So basically, Chelsea, I think they were 2-0 up in the game at the point in time. May have been 1. I know they were definitely 1 up at the point. But what happened was, I can't remember the player's name, but he came into the box and he was actually kicked. It was like he was full skill kicked in the leg, but he stayed on his feet, didn't go down, and he played on and he hit a shot and it went wide. So my question to that was, so what warrants a penalty in that? Because to me, he was kicked, contact made. Had he have went down, it was a penalty. He was an honest player. He was honest and stayed on his feet, but he was kicked. Had he had scored, it would have counted as a fine goal. But because he didn't score, now he hit the shot. Now the referees can take a longer look at that and go so VAR should have looked at that. So even if the referee deemed it like no penalty, the VAR could have looked, well, he did kick him in the leg, so he could look at it. The referee, so VAR could sort of say to the referee, like, referee, you need, I'm insisting on you take a look at the VAR screen. He'll go like this, and he'll go to the wee screen, and then he would have awarded Leeds a penalty. If he didn't, then Manchester United pulled a goal back with a penalty from Bruno Fernandes, as he's called these days, because that's the only way that he's. It's now 3-2. Oh, now this could get interesting now. So Greenwood goes down in the box under a challenge from Kanate, and the referee points to the spot. Leipzig aren't happy, but Fernandes does the job from a spot, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. Could this be the lifeline they need? Paul Pogba has now scored. What drama? Pogba leaps at the back post and the ball is bundled into the net. 3-2. So just checking here, because sometimes it comes through and then VAR might have to look into it to see if there's anything wrong with it, because you know what VAR are like. But again, Manchester United and VAR, they've had so many decisions that have gone for them. Don't get me wrong, at the start of the season, Palace got I think it's been given the goal. So there's 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes left, plus any stoppage time, which probably will be. But there's the impact that Pogba can make. Like, he's been talked about in the press recently about not being happy, supposedly, according to his agent. So let me see. The goal is subject to a VAR check over concerns that the ball struck McGuire's hand on the way in, but that is soon over, and United are within 1 goal of qualification. So United need to get an equaliser, otherwise they are out of the Champions League, and they will finish third, as far as I know, in the group, which puts them into the Europa League knockout stages. And obviously they were in the Europa League last year, and that they got beat in the final, if I remember correctly, I think, or was it semi-finals or something like that. But yeah, so there's about Leipzig are really wobbling here. Their beliefs sapped. Can United complete the comeback? So we're in the 84th minute with roughly about 5-6 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. And if United are still 3-2 down with that length of time left, then you can see the amount of time being added from about 4 to 5 minutes. Because I've always noticed that anytime United seem to be losing, or Man City seem to be losing, they always seem to have about 4 or 5 minutes added on each match to play to try to see if they can get a goal back, like an equalizer or whatever, or if it's 2-2 and they need a goal to win or whatever. But the luck that United have been having recently, so there's still a few minutes to play here. Any more than any other matches? There's just 86 minutes that's up to now. See any change in the Barcelona Juventus score? No change in that one. Let's see. Rennes Sevilla. Rennes 1, Sevilla 3. And it's still Leipzig 3, Manchester United 2. Let me see. So let me see anything more come through. Let me see. They were booking for Adams, who plays for Leipzig. Bruno Fernandes has now scored 23 goals for Manchester United, 2 more than any other player for a Premier League club since debut on 1st of February. Now, that's been said, the amount of goals that have been come from a penalty spot have probably been quite high, because he was known as Penandes, because that was the only way he could score. And to be honest, even though they said the goals that he scored, he hasn't played well in a handful of the matches. So they haven't been, which is, it's all about stats, and people like their stats, So the way I see it is, is it better to score and not play well, when you're not playing well, and still be getting on the score sheet or getting an assist? Obviously, if you get assists and stuff like that, it's fine, because it's. It's not just about scoring goals, it's about helping your teammates, But we're still about 3 minutes away at least here from stoppage time. And we'll find out how long's left in that, how much is to go in that. As things stand, Manchester United are still going out of the Champions League. If they get a draw, they will go through. Let me see the PSG score. Any score in that one still? Let me see. Okay, I think that one's been halted still. They haven't played from the last 15 minutes by the looks of things. That's why they haven't restarted that game yet. So it's still sitting at 0-0. RB Leipzig is 3, Manchester United 2. Still seems to be space for United, and here's a chance for McTominay, but it's over. Nice cushion ball by Rashford, but the Scot slipped as he struck the ball with his wicked foot. And that was on the 80th minute. So we've got a couple of minutes still to go in that one. And once that is over, I will end my wee stream for the evening. As I said, it shows up one person watching, but I don't know if that's me while I'm on here. I don't know if it is. Let me see. I don't know if it is or not. Like I say, I haven't done this before on go on Facebook. It says there's one watching, but I don't think it's me. It says there's one watching, but I don't think it's me. It says there's one watching, but I don't think it's me. It says there's one watching, but I don't think it's me. It says there's one watching, but I don't think it's me. Yeah, it's definitely not great here. Try that. Yeah. So what I probably will do as well. So obviously, this one is football chat, so I'm going to do different restream stuff now and again. most of them will only be like about an hour at the most. I won't do many more than that. So, as such. Let's see, any more change? So we've got still 3-2. 4 minutes of added time. And we're into the first minute of it. The Leipzig have lost any semblance of composure in their final stages. There's still hope for United, according to the Sky Sports. But I would like to see, when I finish my live, I'm going to sort of share my channel about, social media, like, between Facebook and Twitter. If anyone wants to sort of come in. David De Gea taking the free kick and loading the box. Maguire's up and wins the header, but Leipzig clear. Desperate times. Well, that is desperate times for Manchester United, because if they don't win this, if they don't get an equalising goal, they're out of the Champions League. They're out of the big money. They won't attract the bigger players that want to play Champions League football. And even though they're only a few points off the top at the moment, I can't see them. I honestly can't see them getting the top 4. I really can't. And the top 4 is where you want to be if you want to get in the Champions League. If you can't win the league, then top 4 is the best chance you can get. So there can't be much time left here in this match, to be honest. Orban bumps into his own goalkeeper as he claims panic, but Leipzig survive for now. But again, that was on like the 92nd minute, so there can't be much time left. This is a big minute and a half or so for Leipzig, also for Manchester United, because obviously the only three teams can qualify, could qualify, but only 2 can, obviously. So obviously RB Leipzig 3-0 up, United pulled back to 3-2. We are 1 minute away from finding out who's going to go through from this group. Now, PSG match is still abandoned at the moment. They still haven't restarted their match. As I've been on here, it's still sitting at players walk off. So I don't know whether the match will continue. I don't know. But as things stand, Maguire's playing up front, seconds left, according to this. You can imagine all Manchester United fans hanging on the edge of their seat the last sort of few seconds going on. You can just imagine, what must be going through their heads, especially after last week's match against PSG. They beat PSG in France. Only about a month and a half or so ago, and obviously they couldn't, recreate that result. And it looks as if it's going to be over for United here unless something happens. Pogba puts the ball across. And Mikel stretches for the ball, almost put it into his own net, but the goalkeeper's legs block it. Amazing. At 90 plus 4 minutes. So the game should be finished. It's 4 minutes of added time, so it should be finished. I have Leipzig stayed ahead. Reads the headline. But it should be pretty much finished. That should really be it. You're in 94 minutes. This is what I'm talking about. There we go, full time. Whistle has blown. And Manchester United are out of the Champions League. You have heard it here first. Manchester United have been knocked out of the Champions League and will fall into the Europa League as the third place team in the group. What a story. What a story. And what unfortunate circumstances for Manchester United in that way, in a sense, because you're 3-0 down, look dead and buried. You scored 2 goals in the space of like 3 minutes, and also on top of hitting the bar before that. Chelsea finished 1 each, but they had already qualified. And Barcelona Juventus finished 3-0 to Juventus. Dynamo Kiev won 1-0. And the PSG game, I think, it still hasn't resumed. And that was from 8 o'clock. It was an 8 o'clock kickoff, so they haven't restarted from that. So none of the teams have actually came back out again from that. And that was from about 8:15. So that's an hour and a half that they haven't known what to do. Rennes and Sevilla, it finished 3-1 Sevilla. And yeah, so that rounds up the football for the evening. So if there's any more stories, any more streaming that I will do, I will do it again very soon on here. And if anyone wonders what on my face are, that's just my shaving abilities with a new blade. Obviously, not the best, but it'll be all right in a day or two once it clears up. But yeah, so I hope, as I say, I will share this if I can once it ends. And if people want it, so I will share my channel about, try and get the word out that myself, so my name is Robert, as you can see, so it's Rob for short, Mr. Worldwide. We'll be doing videos, whether it's football, could be anything, in general, realistically. So I hope these are all good and everything, and whatnot. And yeah, I shall hear from you all again soon. Take care and bye all. Bye. Your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live. It's okay.